thing.
Actually has an OnlyFans. So it is a drag queen sex worker who, for some reason, also has an interest in doing children's shows. How is this not raising?
So the fact that someone does sex work means then they can never be around a child at any other time?
It's the Casey and Zoe thing.
Okay, Lauren Chen, lay it on us.
Tell me your stupid ideas.
Tell us about how we should be more afraid of drag queens than fascists.
Ow!
Hey, Lauren here. Let's talk about a very concerning family drag show that recently happened in Dallas, Texas. And obviously late in the issue of sexualizing children, specifically in regard to
sexualizing children.
Been in the headlines a lot, and thankfully,
You know,
there it is.
If you see someone in a dress, you've been sexualized.
If you see a person who has male genitalia in a dress, immediately you get horny. Did you know that?
Yeah, or hairy legs.
Yo, whoa.
Well, you're sexualized.
I have hairy legs.
You're sexualized.
I haven't shaved since my ex left.
It's not that you get horny, it's that you've been sexualized.
Oh, right. You're completely sexualized.
Yeah, she didn't say they're making children horny. She said they're sexualizing children.
They're lowering the age of consent to when someone saw their first drag show.
Yeah, that for someone to see hairy legs coming out from under a skirt, you've been sexualized.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yep. Instantaneous sexualization.
I mean, really just...
so that everyone at home is clear.
Yeah, just really to hear any... Like, if you just hear, like, a hit disco single from the 70s, you've been sexualized.
You're now pregnant.
You see
Go
someone,
get a test.
If you see someone lip sync to Donna Summers, you've been sexualized.
Yeah.
like Florida and Virginia especially step up and say, not today, Satan. Get the hell away from my children. This is not family appropriate. This isn't something kids should learn about. This needs to stop. And those types of conversations have led to things like the parental rights and education bill in Florida, and just
also she's wearing fucking drag makeup. She can shut up. I'm sorry. Like, that's drag eyeliner. Like, chill out.
Yeah.
In Virginia over his Democrat opponent. And that's all good stuff, and the side of wholesomeness and not drag queen children continues to make strides. But hang on a second. What about the parents who, when they learn about the grooming behaviors directed toward children, when they learn about pornographic materials being shown to their children?
We'll see if she...
Pornographic materials?
Is she going to cite any specific grooming behaviors?
Did they show wieners at the drag shows?
Well, in her puritanically broken brain, again, a man in a dress is porno.
The same as penetration.
Yeah,
he's penetrating my mind with his dress.
If she could just have the decency to watch more actual porno, she would know that a guy in a dress is not porno.
I feel like right-wingers really like porno.
Oh, of course they do.
But like weird shit, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like the weird shit.
You know, it's the weirdest shit.
We should still look at that Pornhub.
Yeah, the Pornhub data. Mm-hmm. It's a great study.
Children. What about those parents who, instead of saying, no, what are you doing? Are you an insane person? What about the parents who actually go, yes, please? Because as concerning as it would seem to most of us, I hope, there are actually people out there who think
most of us, I hope.
See, and instead of having to hope, you could do research.
You could just like not be a homophobic piece of shit.
Well, you could also do research and find out the actual numbers of how many people support it, instead of going, I hope most people don't. They do. Most people don't give a shit about people being gay and cross-dressing. They don't give a shit.
Nobody gives a fuck.
You are the weirdo minority, man.
You are like the 20%.
You're the lunatic fringe.
There's a higher percentage of like happy gay people than there are of her.
Yeah. You closing the window? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play it. Oh wait, you're gonna get your headphones on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that crow of Xanth. It's ridiculous. There are tons of... I was, like, visiting some friends in Middle America, somewhere in Middle America, and it was literally, like, gun stores were like Subways. Like, they're just fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
I grew up on Long Island for a lot of my adolescence. Same thing. Gun stores fucking everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think Casey would look so good in drag.
Oh yeah,
I think Casey would make a fire drag queen.
Yeah, no, I've never actually done like a
You should do full drag this Halloween.
A full drag get up. Yeah.
I want to go. I want to wear. I want to be just the Heisinger Heisenberg.
Well, yeah.
Jesus. Heisenberg hat. Like, just the hat. Like, my whole body is the Heisenberg hat.
Just Heisenberg's hat.
Yeah,
From
not
Breaking
Heisenberg.
Bad.
Heisenberg's hat. And Casey should just go in full drag.
Well, remember the year that I went as Sexy Roger Rabbit? That year Dale was in full drag. Do you remember that?
Oh, I
remember
do
Dale in full
remember
drag?
Dale in full drag.
Yeah,
That was such
he
a
looked
good
great.
year.
So, no, yeah, maybe.
There's a picture on Casey and my Facebook of us together.
Yeah.
I didn't have a costume, so I just took a black eyeshadow and went like this and said
did whiskers, and you're like,
said,
I'm a kitty cat. And meanwhile, I was in a full Sexy Roger Rabbit getup.
That was a fun year.
That was a good
There's
time.
nothing wrong with their 5-year-old being exposed to drag. And not only is there nothing wrong, heck, actually, it's a good thing. Those people
Yes.
sadly
Yes.
exist, and this past
Yes,
weekend...
we
Sad.
exist.
Those people sadly exist.
I'm glad my existence makes you sad.
Yeah, I hope you're sad for the rest of your life, you dumbass. God. Ew.
Makes me feel good.
See, this is somehow makes me more mad than the PragerU shit, because she doesn't pretend to be an intellectual. She's just
Right.
like, ew, ew, yucky, yucky, gay,
Yeah.
bad, gay, bad, gay, bad.
Yeah.
It's just like, shut up. And people eat this shit up.
Oh, yeah. Homophobes.
in Dallas, Texas, with their children to watch drag queens perform at a bar. So that's what we're going to be unpacking today. But before we get into it, I do want to say thank you to today's sponsor, Keto with Lauren. So we all know that weight loss can be a huge struggle, but unfortunately, the struggle only gets harder
Nobody buy from Keto with Lauren.
the
Yeah.
older you get, especially after your
Ketosis
Skip.
ketosis
Skip.
was made for people with epilepsy. It's a fad diet. It's terrible for you. Your heart will stop. So don't do it.
for our sponsors over here. Okay, now let's go into the details about this child-friendly, family-friendly drag show that recently happened. First thing we need to go over is that it happened in a bar. And I feel like that's of all that should be your number one red flag. And obviously there's many red flags here, but it's no, as a parent, you should not be bringing your child, potentially even your infant, to a bar. And
Have you ever heard of Wine Moms?
Yeah.
Your house is a fucking bar.
Also, were
It's
they
like-
serving alcohol at the time? Not that I think it makes that big a difference, but I'm curious.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Drag shows
I don't
usually
care.
serve
When I
alcohol.
was a kid, growing up in Manhattan, I went to everything, and it's fine.
Have you ever gone to a concert at a bar? They let kids into those all the time.
I went to a number of art exhibitions that were
Yeah.
far filthier than anything you're going to see in your average drag review.
Yeah.
And I'm fine. It's just...
we can have a conversation about pubs because pubs are different. There are dining areas. They serve food. That's not the same thing, in my opinion. This
Pubs... Okay, I mean,
Pubs.
whatever. Some bars serve food and wouldn't call themselves pubs. But anyway, I'm just... that's just a semantic
Oh, is she
thing.
saying pubs mean bars that serve food?
Yeah, which is not the definition of a pub.
Fox?
I don't think.
Do all pubs serve food?
And do all bars not serve food? Bars serve food without being.
I know a
pubs.
gastropub is a thing.
Right. Yeah. Good call out.
But I don't know. Fox will know this better. Do all pubs serve food? I'm gonna say no, but I don't know. Oh, all pubs serve food. Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
And so do bars. That's just
Yeah. I don't know what's the difference. I'm curious.
Whatever. She's using pub to mean a bar that serves food.
I actually want to know for Zoe, what is the difference between a bar and a pub? Different kinds of beer, some wines and cider. Because of its full menu, a pub generally allows minors if accompanied by an adult. Okay. Bars specialize in liquor rather than food and tend to
Okay.
offer. Okay. All right.
Maybe that's a fair time.
Sure.
I've never heard that definition before, but maybe that's correct.
I'll take it.
Cool.
This event happened straight up at a gay bar. And just to really illustrate how not
Scary.
family friendly this environment is, there are actually photos that have emerged from the event. And there are signs on the wall which, okay, say you are a parent and you're thinking maybe I give this event a try. The moment you walked into this gay bar, you should have turned right around. As Taylor Hansen on
What did
Twitter,
the
who's done
sign
a lot of
say?
great reporting about this event, showed there were two
Okay.
neon signs on the
funny. You think a kid's gonna know what that means? Come on.
The kid's gonna look at that and be like, "You're right. I should lick my lollipop."
That's literally yes.
Good
yes.
point,
Come
sign.
on.
Come
That shit's
on.
funny. And they do that shit in like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
They do that shit in kids' cartoons all the time.
and like Pixar and shit. It's
It's just, the kids aren't gonna know what that means. It doesn't say like "fuck me up my butt, daddy."
Yeah,
It says it's not gonna lick itself.
But maybe
Like,
the
come
next
on.
one will be worse.
Please. I'm hoping she has some like.
And it's just
Foundation and
also
truth.
it's one that's like so easy to explain away. Like if a kid was like, "What does that mean? What's not gonna lick itself?"
Your ice cream cone, honey.
Yeah, you could say anything.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Play at this bar. One of them saying it's not gonna lick itself. The other one saying I licked it, so it.
Same thing. Your
Same thing.
lollipop. Whatever.
Those are perfect. Like if you wanna put something dirty on a sign where kids are gonna be around, those are
Yeah.
good choices.
Yeah. Also, have you never met a kid who like licks shit that they want to play with?
Yeah.
That happened on the playground all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Like I'd want to play with a certain toy, and then a kid would be like, "Ugh, "Now it's mine."
That happens in
That literally happens.
That happens in families. Little
Yeah,
kids will go, "I licked that piece of chicken and now it's mine."
Yeah.
Like,
Dead ass.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's mine. Look,
Murph.
even as an adult, I can say that that's gross. I wouldn't want to hang out somewhere with that kind of thing on the wall. Just a little bit icky, in my opinion. But
Because you're
that-
boring.
Because you're boring, prude.
You're a boring
Get a
fucking
life.
prude.
Ugh, someone needs to get laid.
Yeah.
This is okay. So if this is the same girl, she did a video for PragerU about how like casual dating is really bad and you should only date with the intention of getting married. Which, like, honestly, boring.
You know what disgusts me? Statues of bloody, beaten, horrifically brutalized men with thorns shoved into their head and spear wounds in their side. I think that's kind of gross and weird. So I guess we're gonna have to ban kids from going to Christian churches.
Yeah. Nice.
One would think it's
Right?
okay to bring a child
Yeah.
Isn't that fair?
Fair.
to that environment. It is just so disappointing, and it really goes to show how there is like literally no bar to becoming a parent. And I would hope that people see parenthood as a way to make themselves better, to hold themselves to a higher standard, to try to do better for their children. But clearly, that's not the case for everybody. And to anyone who might say, "Oh, Lauren, you're being so judgmental," yeah,
Having a kid is not an operation to be better. It's to have and raise a kid.
Not to conservatives. Not to conservatives.
I mean, like, cool. Like, I mean, I think generally people in general, we should all try to be, better than who we were yesterday to some extent. Like, we should all be working on growing and evolving to whatever extent we can. But like to frame having a child as a thing to make you better, it's a responsibility. You're taking on the responsibility of raising the next generation of conscious beings on Earth. It's not about making you better intrinsically, I think. Anyway.
yeah, I am. I am judging everyone involved in this situation. Like really hardcore condemnation from this corner over here. Which brings us to the
Okay, sit in your fucking corner and shut up.
actual performance that happened. Based on footage that has come out from the event,
Show me the footage.
you can clearly see that there are young children in attendance, and the drag queens are dressed very inappropriately. Like, I don't care what your gender is, you should not be wearing fishnets, high-heeled boots, and a bodysuit around young children. Really, any
Bodysuits sexualized.
You shouldn't be wearing fish. So if a woman goes out, or a man goes out to have a night out on the town, and they wear fishnets, and they
Disgusting.
go in a restaurant where kids are, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I
They're
mean-
now sexualizing children.
That's how conservatives believe it is
Wearing-
true, though. They
Yeah.
think like women who dress like quote unquote whores.
It's just, but like fishnets are particularly, because like at least if you say like a short skirt, that's like a specific, like that's actually exposing more skin. Like I can see how you can make a concrete argument for that being more provocative. But to me, the distinction between like fishnets and your average stockings is like nil.
Yeah.
They're both exposing your legs. Like,
And Cheeseburger Merv, yes, correct. It is very 1950s as fucks.
seriously, like the boots. Like you're wearing boots, and it's like, the kids are sexualized now because you're wearing high-heeled boots.
Yeah, fishnets
What the fuck?
Did you know that fishnets are turning kids trans.
Buddy, but like especially not around young children.
Also, just to be clear, a good amount of drag queens are not trans. I think that they're conflating the two.
Oh yeah. No,
I mean, don't be a transphobe either. But
Right.
drag queens and people being transgender are not mutually exclusive.
yeah.
Or
No, the other way.
Yeah.
This is what I don't understand. If children were being brought to a burlesque show with women, I feel like feminists would be up in arms about it, saying how wrong it is, encouraging objectification, you name it.
Do you know what?
No.
Do you know what a burlesque show is?
No.
A burlesque show involves nudity. Burlesque shows are usually strip teases. There's a difference between a nude stripping show and a drag queen lip syncing to hits from the 70s. These are not the same thing, you fucking... Like, I don't know. I don't know enough about her to say whether she's a liar or just a complete fucking moron.
Yeah.
But whichever it is, fuck you, lady.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's fucked up.
What an absurd comparison.
Completely wild. Absolutely.
But for some reason, when the performers are men dressed as women, it's suddenly empowering. I don't get it. But anyway, as Taylor here...
Maybe she thinks that burlesque shows are like just like women in like sexy outfits singing, but that's not what burlesque shows are.
Yeah, not exclusively.
Not exclusively. I mean, you can have a non-nude burlesque show.
Jumbo's Clown Room is not nude. Burlesque.
Well, but even that, they're in pasties, right?
No,
don't they,
bros.
I thought they got down to pasties. At
I mean,
Jumbo's.
not in my experience.
Oh,
It's
okay.
possible.
Okay.
We have this very, very popular
Yeah.
burlesque bar not far from our house called Jumbo's Clown Room. It's amazing. I fucking love it there.
Mm-hmm.
But all the women are like very like well-trained dancers,
Yeah.
like pole dancers, so they can like walk on the ceiling while it's crazy. But anyways, that's like an example of burlesque that's not in completely nude.
And if you wanted to, I mean, like, if it's like pole dancing and G-strings, I think that's pretty sexy and provocative. But if you wanted to bring your kid to a non-nude burlesque show where it's just people in sexy outfits singing songs, yeah, who gives a fuck? That's fine.
With this video, a drag queen just dropped it low for a child and took money from them as well.
Play the audio. I bet the song slaps.
I know, I want to hear the song. Well, yeah, it's probably a copyright thing.
Okay, and it looks like a bathing suit.
Just absolutely sickening stuff.
She didn't drop it low. She didn't drop it
know.
low.
It
Where
looked-
is it dropping it low?
It looked like she was starting to drop it low. So I'm like, why did they cut away?
Why did you show me them dropping it low?
The fact that she cut away there makes me think she didn't drop it low.
I don't think she dropped low.
Also, it just doesn't matter.
Also, she just like the kid was holding out $1 and she took it. Who cares?
And it's like...
She's like, sucks! They fucked! Like,
Also,
what?
it's like, imagine being like, did you hear somebody crouched next to a child?
Also, have you ever seen like a little kid's bathing suit? They don't cover the, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not
Well, that's the
inherently,
thing.
skin is not inherently sexual.
I'm indoctrinated, like, I've, we grew up in this puritanical American culture, so when I see that much exposed butt, I have a little bit of a reaction of like, oh, that's sexy. But the truth is, a butt is just a butt. That's the reality.
Right. What's nudity, genitalia, is not inherently sexual. I mean,
No.
in a way, yes, it is because it's like it's used for sex, sure,
Mm-hmm.
but like the existence of genitalia is not necessarily sexualized, like inherently.
No.
And to create a culture, a puritanical culture in which it is, that's sexualizing
Yeah,
children.
that's what's so funny.
That's how you sexualize children, by telling them an ass existing is sexy.
Yeah. It's so funny because all the kids sitting at that drag show, in their minds, they're just like, oh, some people in costumes are dancing around and singing. That's all that's going on in the kids' heads. It's these conservative fucks who are sexualizing all of it and who are like, fishnets? They might as well be coming on the kids' faces.
Yeah, dead ass.
Like, holy
She
fuck.
grabbed $1 from the kid in no sexual way. It's not like she
No.
like grabbed it with her titties.
She didn't even-
literally just went like that.
She didn't even stick it in her titties after grabbing
No, she
it.
held it in her hand.
Yeah.
Nothing was sexual about that at all, except the sway of the hips back and forth, which is not inherently sexual.
It's just a human dancing.
It's just dancing. I don't.
You could say it's a sexy
This
dance,
is also
but it's
fucking
just like,
off base.
ugh.
God, fuck this bitch.
Just to perceive any kind of sexiness as like an intrinsically corrupting force It's so sex negative and fucking gross.
It's sad because she's super cute. It's sad that she's so boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If she were like a little less boring, she'd be having a great time.
Indeed.
You know how they used to at least have PSAs, public service announcements for things like, hey guys, drugs are bad, or hey, don't litter, like basic messages that everyone should know, but that some people just need to be told because, you know, some people. I feel like we need PSAs to come back now, but this time for parents saying, hey, by the way, don't take your children to drag queen, essentially strip shows. Like, don't.
Strip implies taking
off
clothes off.
Show me video of these drag queens taking their clothes off in front of these kids, and I will object. It's not there. And also, wait, and what was the thing she said before that?
Don't litter and
oh, right.
don't do drugs.
No, she said PSAs should come back.
They're here, baby.
PSAs still exist.
Do you know what a PSA is? Like,
I mean,
do you know what words mean?
We don't see them as much these days since so many of us are using streaming more than live TV or cable.
Yeah.
Live network TV or cable. But the PSAs, they're still PSAs.
They're there.
I see them on Hulu.
I just saw an anti-vaping PSA on TikTok the other day, and I was like, ugh, don't at me.
Yeah, PSAs still exist. I'm just like, where's this woman? But okay.
PSA's got to make a comeback. They're not in right now.
Yeah, anyway, she's out of touch is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oop, I muted her with my upset.
It's tempting.
Hey, if you find yourself in a situation when you're in a gay bar with your child and there is someone in fishnet stockings and pretty much a thong dancing around.
No,
Not a thong.
No, her booty hole was covered.
Yeah.
Maybe reevaluate your
most of her butt
choices.
crack.
Maybe take a step back and think.
Is that what she thinks a thong is? So what kind of underwear is she wearing?
She's wearing.
Is she wearing a full bodysuit underneath there?
She's just wearing one of those, those big thick like pads that like the Amish give to their wives when it's that time of the month. Like she just wears like a big fucking.
She wears the overnight
sanitary pad
all
the time.
Yeah, constantly.
Just in case anything sinister drips out of there at any time. You got to be careful.
I always assume these people are so fucking horny.
Oh yeah.
I always it's giving jealousy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not the best. Let me leave and put on Paw Patrol. Probably more age appropriate. And just the absolute grossness of this event gets even worse because at one point it seems like the children were actually invited up on stage.
Yeah, you want your kids to be boring? Show them Paw Patrol instead of drag shows.
Also,
they'll turn out real nice and boring.
She needs to learn how to talk. She says it seems like the children were invited up on stage. No, they were. Just say they were. I don't like this like.
A lot of.
I mean?
I don't like how she talks in general.
Yeah.
But that's just aesthetic. But yeah, fuck her.
Drag queens, and they were doing like catwalk stuff together because if there's one thing you want even more than bringing your child to a drag show as a parent, it's clearly for them to learn the tricks and the trade of being a drag queen.
Walking around.
Walking a runway is a model skill.
What? They're teaching kids how to catwalk. Because if you learn how to catwalk, you start wanting to suck dick. Because that's how that works.
Yeah.
Everybody
you learn to
who's ever
catwalk.
catwalked is a professional dick sucker.
You just become or pussy sucker.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, I cannot catwalk.
They're dragging you into their own heteronormativity.
I don't know how to catwalk. I know how to flirt. I don't know how to catwalk.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with if a kid wants to do like a model walk down a runway, who gives a shit?
Fuck?
Let the kid have fun.
Who cares? Yikes.
Let's go.
He doesn't That's like me at that age.
She's walking. What's wrong with this?
And it's just fun to like walk and have people cheer you.
This is so
it's just very positive.
This is so sweet.
Yeah.
Aw, this is like wholesome.
Yeah. It's about like a confident, self-loving attitude.
I love
Even
that.
more footage of the performance. Just
great.
That was great. Like I want to cry. That was so sweet.
Yeah.
I just I said this earlier in stream today, like drag queens I'm gonna cry because I hate homophobia so much. But Drag queens are some of the like kindest and gentlest people I've ever met.
I agree.
There's like at least in my experience, like I've had better advice from drag queens than I've had from a lot of therapists. There's like a very like maternal culture in drag queen performance, and I think like it's actually serves to like help kids express themselves more freely.
Yeah.
And self-expression does not equal sexuality.
No.
Expression of gender does not equal sexuality.
No.
So it's is specifically disheartening when people have takes like this.
And having fun swinging your hips around doesn't make you a sex worker.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with being a sex worker,
here.
but that is what she's implying here.
Dumb bitch.
Of like, oh my god, I saw hips swing back and forth.
Get over yourself.
Is this a porno?
Vomit.
Am I watching a porno?
Like, what part of this was pornographic? Also, a lot of them were in like full length ballroom gowns.
Yeah. It's not, you could see it like any fancy ball event. You could see these outfits. Like,
come on.
Okay.
Showing how sexually explicit a lot of the dance moves that were going on were.
What?
Let's see.
Is she gonna drop? Oh, she dropped it.
She dropped it?
Oh, she dropped it, and then...
Crouching is not explicitly sexual.
How, she whipped her hair.
Whipped her hair.
She took a dollar. And then did a split.
Impressive.
And then whipped her hair again.
Did
and
a
then
little hopping.
hopped it around.
Very athletically challenging stuff.
Yeah, this is like gymnastics.
Yeah.
Is she thrusting?
Yeah, like, she's not going like, ah.
She dropped it once. She didn't even twerk.
Yeah.
Nope. A walk, grabbing a dollar.
This is just disgusting, and I think one of the worst things you could possibly
like. Can she not dance? Is that what the problem is? Is she not able to dance?
Do as a human is to pollute and pervert children. I mean, children are just these staples of innocence. They are amazing. They are pure. They are wholesome. And so
I don't like referring to children as staples. Personally, I get what she's getting at, but like. Referring to children with the term you use to refer to material resources, not a great look from my perspective.
Yeah, and Cheeseburger Merv, yes, this is true. Trans men and women are way more likely to commit suicide.
Yeah.
A lot of it also is inability to access gender affirming surgeries, hormones, etc., etc. So gender dysphoria can actually lead someone to suicidal action, as well as just the societal shitting on trans people, which is disgusting and should never exist. And anytime you ever see someone ever being transphobic, say something.
Yeah. Give them shit.
Give them shit. Throw a shit in their face.
Yeah.
Take a shit in your hand and throw it at their face. Just kidding, TOS.
And in childhood in general, and to try and pollute that with all of this degeneracy, I mean, it really is, it's sickening. It sickens me, and it should sicken all of you watching this. And not only that, but the fact that this isn't just happening because of school administrators or something doing this to other people's children, but
her nails are a little short, just saying.
That it's the parents themselves who are bringing their kids to this event, which, by the way, was titled Drag the Kids to Pride. I don't know what to say to these parents. Honestly, I worry for these children because clearly their parents are not making decisions based on their kids' best interests. These are messed up parents.
That's not
who
clear.
Either have very
She's so bad. She's also just like argumentative. Like her arguments are shit. She's not even like making points. It's so much of what she's saying is built on the assumption that you already agree with 80% of what she believes. It's very unimpressive stuff.
She said the word disgusting like 10 times. Babe, take out a thesaurus.
Yeah, please.
Like learn a new word.
Yeah.
Poor judgment, and or are these raging ideologues who are just trying to start the indoctrination for their children super, super young? And for anyone who might be saying...
And the indoctrination for what? Like, what do you, like, what is,
she's not saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah,
she wants fewer gay and trans people in the world.
Indoctrinating to, like, so, like, what is the horrible thing that's going to happen? That, like, some kids, some people will be gay?
Yes. But
That's
she
like
won't say that.
The end of the world?
She won't say that because her channel will probably get taken down.
Yeah, even though it's not. Obviously, I'm operating on her premise. Like going to drag shows is not going to make a single person gay.
No.
Ever. It might make an already gay kid feel more comfortable to be honest about who they are.
They can't have that.
It could have that positive impact. Yeah, this is...
It's so upsetting. This girl's boring as fuck. I hate everything she has to say, and she makes fun of people.
And she goes on the internet to tell people to, like, please be as boring as I am.
Yeah, like, sorry. If everyone was as boring as you are, this would be a sad, sad world.
Yeah.
This is just supposed to be preaching tolerance and acceptance. You can teach tolerance and acceptance without making your child witness a man dancing around in a thong. Like, it's
Yeah, you could. So how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
How are you planning to teach your kids
No.
tolerance and so you give us the good way to do it, right?
It's
surely
the same, no.
Surely she'll present an actionable alternative and not just fearmonger, right?
No. It's the same shit when you go outside an abortion clinic and you're like, how many kids have you adopted? And they're like, none.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing.
It's the same bullshit. She's like, you could do this, but I'm not. But really, she just doesn't want you to do it at all.
No, she doesn't. It's bullshit.
She wants the opposite.
She's lying.
She wants there to be shows that kids go to where they're taught that being gay is evil. That's what she wants.
It's called church.
Yeah, exactly.
Possible to do that. And you know what? To this day, I just don't understand why drag queens and kids have become a thing. And I remember I covered the first drag
Have
queens
become a thing. Again, I was hanging out with drag queens in the 90s. As
He
a
likes
young person.
puss.
I like grew up. Yeah. I was like surrounded. My parents are both composers on Broadway. My very young youth was spent in Manhattan hanging around with musical theater people all the time. And then my older youth, teen years, was spent hanging around with drag queens at drag shows and like late night drag cabaret.
Yeah.
And I still love vaginas. So, and boobs. Oh my God, don't get me started on boobs.
I knew I liked...
So what the fuck?
Yeah, I knew I liked girls in first grade before I ever saw theater or anything like that. My parents are obviously straight. I didn't know that my birth mom was a lesbian until like 3 years before she died.
Yeah.
We're
watching a very stupid and uninformed person barf their ignorance into a microphone as though it's insight. It's not. This is a dummy saying dumb things.
Mm-hmm. Story Hour several years ago. I think it took place in New York, and at the time, I remember people saying, "Oh, well, this was just a one-time event. It's not a thing you're blowing."
She needs to put her voice a little lower into her diaphragm because she's talking from here.
Just enunciate, please.
She's like, "I'm on the internet. I'm going to talk." Place your voice a little lower.
Say.
If you're going to have a platform on the internet where you talk,
enunciate both the beginning and end sounds of words, please. Not just one or the other.
Like, she's so cute. She has so much potential to not be a piece of shit. Like, you could change.
Yes.
You could change.
You could.
Blowing it up and making it into something that it's not. But fast forward to today. It's a thing. This is happening everywhere. And it's like, sure, the people on the left might say, well, oh, the right does bad things to kids too. You have these religious extremists who, abuse kids and try to brainwash them. And it's like, yes.
You have Catholic priests who fuck kids' faces.
Yeah, why didn't she say that?
You have Vatican City, a hotbed of child fucking.
Because that's pornographic.
Literally, there's the child fuckers have a whole city to themselves that they own, and you're worried about the little drag club? You fucking moron.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's disgusting. The Catholic Church is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Also, your shirt's fucking ugly.
Yeah, well, the Westboro Baptist Church, they're like 10 people, and they're condemned by pretty much everybody.
I don't mind it.
Okay.
I don't like how she's wearing the collar, but I don't mind the shirt.
I know the shirt's gross.
Christianity. Meanwhile, the whole drag queen thing on the left with kids, that's becoming mainstream. We even had Pizza Hut recently recommending a book about a young boy who likes to dress up as a drag queen. We had a supposed parenting website, Fatherly Advocate, sending kids to Pride events knowing full well that there would be kink and nudity on display. I mean,
the whole kink at Pride thing drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
We should sometime in June talk about kink at Pride.
Sure.
I mean, seriously, check out this article. It says Pride parades and the Pride festivals that follow are noisy and crowded. They're filled with sights that may be new to kids, like public nudity and kink. Not to mention that Pride parades aren't the most sober of places. So is it appropriate to take your young kids to Pride?
Who cares about nudity?
That's the thing.
Who cares about nudity?
Nudity only
Boobs
becomes...
exist, y'all.
Yeah, nudity only becomes like a dangerous thing if you frame it as such, if you sexualize it, which is what right-wingers do. A person walking around naked is not intrinsically sexual. It's just a human with a body. You know, if they're jamming a double-ended dildo up their ass, well, now things have changed. But if they're just walking around naked, it's not a thing. It's just like people are so scared of our own fucking bodies. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And it's all pure, at least in America, it's all about our puritanical roots. It's all because of those fucking Puritans with their broken brains and their scarlet letters. We're still suffering from how bad those people were at thinking.
Considering the benefits for all families, including seeing other LGBTQ plus families like yours, or showing up as an ally if your family members are straight and cisgender, the answer is absolutely.
Okay.
What the Seriously, you know there's going to be drunk people.
Watch your
you know
mouth.
There's gonna be
Oh,
nudity.
she
You know there's going to be
cursed.
Watch your mouth.
kink, but
Stop
still,
sexualizing me, ma'am. Did you just say the F word to me?
Do you know what that word means, ma'am?
That's the sex word. I won't stand for this sexualizing of me.
It's okay to take a young kid to this event just because, virtue signal and gayness. No,
Yeah, that's what they
I'm
said.
taking my kid to a drag show because virtue signal and gayness. Yes, hiding the body is what sexualizes it.
Yeah, exactly, Kralevzan. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well said.
When people walk around, like nudist communities,
Yeah.
are like they're not all fucking.
They forget that yeah, they just look at junk and they're like, there's some junk. We've all got junk. Who cares?
Nudist communities are also quite a bit more body positive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, by a country
than
mile.
Clothed communities.
Yeah, surprise,
They're like,
surprise.
oh, wait, that person has cellulite? That's what bodies do. Anyways, back to thinking about other things.
Oh, well, you mean the people who feel the need to cover their bodies with clothes and also have stuff under the clothes to make their body a different shape than it actually is and wear Spanx and girdles and shit? They're not as body positive?
Crazy.
How could it be?
Who'd have thunk, huh? All right, hair up time lasted like a full hour today, or hair down time.
Amazing.
I'm doing better. I'm getting better. I want to get a
Little
haircut
by
that makes it
little.
more voluminous.
Gradual progress.
Yeah.
You know, all the people who say that anyone who is gay is a predator and shouldn't be allowed near children. It's exactly articles like this that they use as ammunition for their arguments. But thankfully...
So, did she just describe herself?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're saying?
Yeah. Look at how hard she's thinking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The steam is coming out of her ears
so
big time.
hard. How does she not have expression lines? Why don't you have expression lines?
Thankfully, there are gay people, there are trans people out there who disavow any of this. And to that point, actually, and I think this is amazing, at least one trans attendee of the drag show has tweeted out that they went to the event wanting to support it and, you know, be open-minded, trans kids, whatever, but they actually ended up leaving because it made them feel uncomfortable, which, like, yes, good, it should have, and I'm glad this person left. Andre Says Hello on Twitter wrote, I went to that show wearing my Protect Trans Kids shirt, and even I regret going. Initially, I thought it was fine, but soon I realized how weird the environment was. I was wrong, and I want to say you can support trans kids and be mad at this event.
Okay, and so yeah, one person said that, and I think something that
I want to
is
see what else they're tweeting.
important to say. Yeah, that's interesting. Is that like while we don't have any issue with it, I also don't have any issue with if someone's like, I don't want to take my kids to a drag queen show. That's fine.
No, that's not.
I wouldn't force anyone to do it. But pretending that it is this horrific thing that if anyone brings their kids, it's horrible, is not true.
Leftist. No, this is not the same person. Wait, what do they say? Andre Says Hello. ANDRE says hello.
It'd be so great if they were made up.
This is a different profile picture.
It's just a different picture.
20-year-olds listen to politics, leftist, socialist, chill agnostics, follow for stay trippy, anti-fascist artists.
Okay, here's they wrote another thing. Yes, I attended the Drag Kids event. It was weird. Do I believe it's worthy of mass panic? No. Do I regret letting Andy retweet me? Yes. If you want a summary of my thoughts on this, I highly recommend you watch this.
Yeah, there you go. Please, right bringers, no, I'm not on your side. I cannot support. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So this is the person that tweeted that thing that she's citing.
Yeah.
So please, right-wingers, know that I'm not on your side. I cannot support your mass panic over the idea that LGBT people are grooming kids or that LGBT stuff is being shoved down our throats. I realize that the harm is getting anti-LGBT people use my voice, and I'm sorry for that.
This is why it's like, yeah.
It's dehumanizing. I regret going to the event. I'm deeply sorry for letting any of us be wrong of conservatives to treat this drag as a mass panic. Yeah. To the civil conservatives who kept telling me that they weren't against my trans identity, I'll say this. You may not be against my identity, but nearly your entire political party is.
Wait, finish it. And by supporting them, you are indirectly harming people like me. Yes.
Do these people not fucking read? Like, if you just taken 5 seconds to Google this person?
She doesn't care. She found her cherry-picked evidence, and she's done.
People weren't just protesting a drag event. They also just don't believe being LGBT is right. I heard multiple anti-gay and anti-trans comments while at the event. Their side is the side that actively contributes to the stigma LGBT people face today.
And the thing I understand is, like, culturally speaking, it is, like, when you see a room with, like, dimmer and colorful lighting, and you hear the jammin' track, and you see a person, a feminine presenting person, dressed up with like fishnets and high heels, walking around and dancing to the music, it does evoke a vibe, an aesthetic of strip club in terms of our collective cultural consciousness. You know, like I feel that too. Like my first reaction of it is like, it does look like I'm seeing video from a strip club if I don't think anymore.
If you shut your brain off.
Yeah, if you shut your brain off. But then if you think past your initial culturally conditioned reaction, you can see it's just a room with colorful lighting and music playing and an adult person dancing fully clothed. So I want to acknowledge, like, I get having that aesthetic knee-jerk reaction, and also just like keep going. Keep thinking beyond your initial emotional reaction, and you might find some facts in your analysis.
My first instinct was to defend the event, he continues, because the counter-protesters were full of anti-LGBT sentiment and had Trump hats. Also talked to John Doyle about Vosh V. I regret going. It's just hard to sympathize or agree with a side that rejects my trans identity. If even someone who thinks that trans kids are a thing thinks your event has gone too far...
Thinks that trans kids are a thing. Listen to that again.
Yeah, you know who else thinks trans kids are a thing? The entire global scientific community. Doctors all around the world, all the experts who put in the most time and energy, who have studied transness, trans theory, you know, gender dysphoria, the people who have studied all that the most, who know the most about it. They're the ones who think that, and they're right. And
even this,
you are a stupid idiot, ma'am. A hateful idiot.
She's saying even this person with a mental disability that I think shouldn't exist thinks I'm right.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
And that's exactly why this tweeter is now so regretful around what they did, because this is what right-wingers do with stuff like that. And that's what I'd say about that tweeter is I think they had that reaction to the aesthetic and did not think past it and then got uncomfortable and left. And again, like, I don't have any problem with that in and of itself. If you go to a thing and it's not comfortable for you and you want to leave and not be there, of course.
Who cares?
Obviously, who cares? Of course. Go somewhere else where you'll feel happier and better. And like to try to put that out as like my personal discomfort is evidence of wrongdoing. That's where your argument falls apart.
Or maybe, just maybe, your event has gone too far. And that's the thing, like, it's not just that these people are trying to say it's okay to be gay, it's okay to be trans, but they are literally trying to shove sexuality in your face.
No, they're not.
Naked, kinky sexuality
down
kids.
Well, who was naked? Who was naked?
I think now she's conflating the drag show and pride parades where someone might be nude. It's all melting together in her very poorly operating brain.
It's all scary gays.
Yeah.
Scary gays everywhere.
Throats. And by the way, none of this is to mention the fact,
How much money do you bet that she's fooled around with a girl? I'd say she has.
I don't know, I'm on the fence. You'd know better than I.
I have a I have a sneaking suspicion.
I mentioned that one of the drag queens who participated in this.
Here's the only time she's ever come was when she's getting her pussy eaten by a woman, and she just can't get past it.
And I said earlier on the stream, I hate blaming all homophobia on gay people. I really do. Right. But this kind of like based in absolutely nothing but icky, yuck, please, bad sex. She sounds horny to me.
There's a bit of a thou doth protest too much.
That's exactly.
Dynamic going on.
Exactly. And if she ever sees this video, girl.
Oh, and that's interesting, Merv, that the drag show nights are the safest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, because they're like moms.
Oh yeah. You know, I mean, drink spiking does happen at bars of all kinds, and I certainly wouldn't want to say anything that makes. I don't think it's an especially, I don't think it's a gay issue, so I wouldn't want to say that. And yes, spiking happens at all kinds of bars. It's a horrible thing.
Actually, has an OnlyFans, so it is a drag queen sex worker who, for some reason, also has an interest in doing children's shows. How is this not raising?
So the fact that someone does sex work means then they can never be around a child at any other time?
It's literally, it's the oldest profession.
No, literally, these people see sex as like a virus.
Yeah, literally.
And, like sexiness.
Get a life.
That like will get infected with the sexiness.
This is why I think these people are horny, because this feels emotional to me. This feels like she's missing out on something, like she's upset, like personally offended by something. And that's why it's reading like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like, oh, you fuck adults, but then sometimes hang out where kids are? Pretty sus.
Yeah, like...
What? You're talking about every sexually active adult is who you're addressing.
No, but there was a camera. Or no. If it's a sex worker, maybe not necessarily a camera.
Well, if they have an OnlyFans, there's a camera.
You're right. There's a camera.
But yes, no, that's such a wild position to take.
Stupid. Ugh. Homophobes are boring.
Yeah.
Get a life.
Alarms in anyone else's minds. But as Andy No reported, this performer from the children's drag show in Dallas is Albert Xavier Estrada, who uses the name Ariel Diamond. Estrada posted previously about his OnlyFans. Thankfully, there were counter-protesters that showed...
What are the kids doing? Looking at his fucking Twitter? Like, what?
...up at this event, because I think very much this is an event that needs to be protested.
Christ is king! Christ is king! Christ is king!
Christ is king!
You know what?
Christ is king!
A salient point. I get... Christ is king?
What does that have to do with anything?
Like, I could, like, it would make so much more sense if they were saying, like, don't sexualize kids or something.
No, it's Christ is king, baby.
Or even, like, we don't like drag queens. But their counterpoint to letting children know that drag queens exist is Christ is king.
Well, she called it satanic at the beginning of the video.
Yeah, no, because she's a Christian moron.
Yeah.
She's a Christian indoctrinated dumb fuck.
If you think you're not going to hell, stay out of my business.
Yeah, seriously.
Someone said earlier today, they were like, oh, well, I want to make sure people don't go to hell. Wouldn't you want to save someone who was drowning? And I'm like, look, no God that loves me is sending me to eternal torture.
Yeah, seriously.
So...
If God sent me to eternal torture, the whole time I'd be like, fuck you, asshole.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, so you're an asshole. All right, thanks for letting me know, you fucking asshole.
Being.
God would never hear the end of it from me.
Yeah, that ass. Yeah, right. He walked around in a dress all the time.
He did, yeah.
But that wasn't a dress. That was a man dress for boys.
And one of his best buddies was a sex worker named Mary Magdalene.
Don't tell the kids. Don't tell the kids.
So I guess Jesus now, or certainly Mary Magdalene, if Mary Magdalene ever hung out with any kids back in the Jesus days, well, she was sexualizing children because she also did sex work. So
that's how you do
truly,
that.
I mean, it's such a fucking cliche at this point. But the extent to which Christians in America have no idea what Jesus Christ was about philosophically and misinterpret all of his ideas and misrepresent him almost all the time, it's just staggering. Like, I think I have so much more sincere, informed appreciation for Jesus Christ than your average American Christian. I think he was a genius philosopher. Don't agree with him on everything, but I mean, like, a genius a philosopher of new levels of humanism that had not been widely discussed before. And somehow these dumb fuck right-wingers take one of history's most explicitly humanist philosophers and then just like turn him into a fucking Puritan dickhead, which he was not at all.
Like, these people are so fucking boring.
They're so boring.
And specifically, we had people like Alex Stein showing up at the event and confronting the performers, and I'm glad that he did. We have some footage of that here.
For little children? Do you like dancing for little children? You don't think that's disgusting? Dancing around for little children?
Away from me.
Don't you think that's disgusting?
I need you to
You
get
don't think
away.
that's
Get the
away. Hey, well, you can't just touch me. You don't think that's disgusting?
me.
Yeah, seriously, please make fun of his stupid voice.
That's disgusting.
He sounds fucking
Dancing
brain
for
dead.
little children.
Little
You
children!
should be ashamed of yourself dancing for little children. You should be ashamed of yourself.
fuck him. Is he a child? No.
You got dancing little children.
That drag queen is scared for their life right now.
Yeah, it's harassment.
Because this is people like this. She's saying that what he's doing is a good thing. A lot of the time these types of altercations end in violence.
Yes.
And the person in drag or the person who's trans ends up like brutally assaulted, if not murdered.
Yeah.
So and oftentimes raped.
Yeah, this person with the camera is a piece of shit. They're leveraging the existing social dangers for gay people to terrorize this person.
That is a person who's terrified.
Yeah, who's like, get us into the car because this could turn so bad so fast because you cannot trust homophobes. They're
That's
scumbag.
not a sexual deviant.
Yeah, homophobes.
Trying to get away.
Homophobes are the fucking deviants. Right-wingers are the deviants.
If you see like a right winger being confronted, like look at Ted Cruz, for instance, was confronted in a restaurant recently, and a man was like, "How dare you? Like these preschoolers' blood is on your hands." He went,
Yeah.
"Bye."
He wasn't.
That's a reaction of someone who's not fearful.
Because-
open the fucking car. Open the fucking
Yeah.
car. That's someone who's terrified.
Yeah.
It makes me want to puke.
Ted Cruz is not afraid at all because he knows that the powers that be and the police, for example, are always going to protect him from the working class.
Yeah.
And this person getting into their car knows that the police will never protect them because they are in drag, and police tend to be homophobic.
And Cheeseburger
Police
Merv,
commit a lot of violence against gay and trans people as well.
Yes. Cheeseburger Merv is totally correct. He's just being fabulous.
Yeah,
Not a crime to be
absolutely.
fabulous.
It is
You
not a
should
crime to be
ashamed of
fabulous.
yourselves. You're disgusting. Think about what you just did. Okay, that's fine, but you danced naked in front of little children.
Honestly, I know there are going to be people who
Naked.
say that.
Are you going to call him out for saying something that wasn't true?
No.
There was no nudity at that show.
No.
Are you going to criticize him for lying, or are you just going to let that stand, you propagandist piece of shit?
oh, this is not the right approach to try and convince these people that they're wrong. But I don't think we're dealing with rational, moral people at this point. And
Again, describing yourself, more projection from right-wingers. We now live in this hell world of masses of irrational morons accusing everyone else of being irrational.
You can, yeah, I will, Krillazanth, I will. But this must be a person devoid of empathy.
Yeah.
Because you can clearly see that the drag queen was terrified.
Yeah.
It is clear that that is a scared person trying to get in their car. And luckily his boyfriend was like being protective, sure, but like that is a scared person. And this is making me like genuinely mad because like she's like, well, that's the right way to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
When she sees a man in drag, she does not see a human being.
No.
She sees an alien creature that perplexes her to no end because she's a moron. She's a miseducated piece of shit moron who, if she never spoke again for the rest of her life, the world would be a better place.
I absolutely agree that these performers, and yeah, even the parents, they do need to be shamed. They need to know that what
There's a difference between shame and
Terrorism.
And terrorism.
they're doing is wrong, because I think
And
they're
also,
passive.
it's like, again, it's like shaming. Shaming people is not good or bad. The question is, who are you shaming and why? We've often promoted
Oh, yeah.
shaming right wingers because shame works. Shame does get shitty people to stop doing bad things if they feel like it's shameful and they're going to have a bad reputation and be hated by most of society. They'll stop doing it. Absolutely. So I want to be clear that I'm not anti-shaming people. I'm not even really anti... Like, if you want to terrorize Ted Cruz, I don't give a fuck. Party on. Fuck that guy. You want to terrorize Mitch McConnell? Fuck him. They worked their whole lives to earn your right to do anything to them. I struggle to think of anything that a person could do to Mitch McConnell or Ted Cruz that I would say is bad. Personally, they are species murderers, and if they're not deserving of whatever horrible thing you're thinking of that could be done to a person, then no one is.
Yeah. And Cheeseburger Merv just redeemed designed an emote. I'm nervous about yours.
Well, he already said before what he was like. Anyway, let's finish it. Finish it.
Moral people at this point, and I absolutely agree that these performers, and yeah, even the parents, they do need to be shamed. They need to know that what they're doing is wrong, because I think we are past the point where you can. I mean, if someone is bringing their young child to watch essentially a strip performance, what are you supposed to say to that? And the notion that you need to reason with these people instead of just flat out condemning them because, oh, at least they're doing it for the right reasons. Love is love. That would never cross people's minds again if this was a heterosexual strip show or burlesque show or whatever. So why are we?
It wasn't a strip show, you fucking liar.
We watched the video.
We watched your video, the video clips you chose that were supposedly the
worst,
explicit and horrifying, and there was no nudity and no stripping. Not even pole dancing.
Hello?
Like, what the fuck?
What is wrong with this bitch?
She's insane and stupid.
We extending this gross, abusive grooming behavior more grace just because it's LGBT oriented. It doesn't make sense to me. And overall, just in general, I do want to point out that, yeah, this is happening in Texas. This isn't in California. This isn't in New York. So if you don't think that this stuff is everywhere, you have not been paying attention. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say for now. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead before my blood pressure rises to unhealthy levels. But thank you guys so much for watching as always. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It helps me out so much.
Okay, shut up. That's enough. Fuck you. So yeah, more stupidity, insane stupidity from the right. The only thing they have to offer to discourse, insane stupidity. They are an intellectually worthless demographic. And here is more evidence of that simple fact. Okay.
Remember when I was like, we should watch another video?
Yeah, no.
And now I'm like depressed.
It's disgusting stuff.
Awful.
She's a terrible person. But I guess now you've had your fill of propaganda for the day?
I think so.
Yeah.
We should play around a Fortnite.
We play some games. I should let Pip pee.
Okay.
And
sure. Give me 1 second. I just want to plug this thing in.
Oh yeah, go for it. Do we want to do a little break?
Yeah, let's put on a 10-minute.
Play the commercials. We've got a newly curated break for y'all that I finished recently. Fox. She said, Lauren, I hope both sides of your pillow are warm at night. And yes, Krails. Oh, right, Krails Ants. We didn't wind back the video. But yeah, no,
I looked through a little bit. I saw there was a cop.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a cop, present doing nothing. But ooh, if somebody was selling loose cigarettes, whoa, then the gun would be drawn. But terrorizing a person, an artist, a performer walking to their car, well, that's fine with the cops. Go nuts.
Okay.
Everything good?
Oh, yeah. I was just hungry. I had to stop at the fridge because I was overcome by how hungry I was.
All right. Well, then we'll take a little break. We're going to put on our commercial break of silliness. A lot of very silly stuff in this one. Get excited.
Oh, I'm excited.
And yeah, we'll be back in about 10 minutes for some Fortnite. Is that what we want to do?
Yeah, let's do some Fortnite.
All right. We'll play a little Fortnite in like 10 minutes.
What's up, everyday stoners?
What's up, everyday stoners?
You can see our little beret.
Yay! Oh, I'm so glad you're here for this. Okay, it's number 5, right?
5. 1, 2, 3, 4.